Hey everyone, welcome to the Gaming X. Today we're taking a quick fire look at our review for Swim Out on the Nintendo Switch, a top-down puzzle game using influences from around the 1930s for its art style. It's definitely a curious title, and I found out this was actually previously a cell phone game. Why do they keep on releasing cell phone games on this beast of a machine? So before we do jump in and touch on this cell phone port, if you're new here, consider hitting subscribe. The support we are receiving from the YouTube community is incredible, and that's because of people like you checking out these videos. We cover all the latest news and reviews for the Nintendo Switch, and you can expect videos 3 times a week. Okay guys, so as I said, this is a cell phone game. How do you feel about cell phone games continuously being released on a home console? Now, I'm not saying it's definitely a bad thing. Perhaps sometimes we find that sweet gem that deserves its place amongst the eShop library. Is this one of them? Let's jump in and find out. So Swim Out is a puzzle game, so there's no better place to start than gameplay. Here you will find a take on the turn-based genre where you move the swimmer and your goal is to get out of the pool. Simple enough in idea, but you're going to find numerous obstacles in your way, namely other swimmers. When you make one move, they move too. And that's really the challenge, working out the patterns. Additionally, you have options to trap these obstacles, whether that's using a float or catching them in a fishing net, or, well, there's a ton of different options, all pool related of course, at your disposal. It adds another level of strategy to these puzzles, and it can be an absolute lifesaver. Do you like what I did there? Lifesaver? I've got to say, for its origins on a cell phone, this thing, it has a ton of content, clocking in at just over 300 levels, and I did find myself coming back. Finally, it's the controls, and you can use joystick, D-pad, or my personal favourite of course, the mighty touchscreen. I've got to say, for a cell phone game, I'm definitely harder on these, but I can see how they've optimised it for the Switch. The graphics have been, of course, been upscaled, the controls, they work smoothly, and the puzzles, there's definitely an audience for this in the Nintendo Switch community. So the graphics, they are pretty basic, and we're going to probably link that back to its cell phone history, as I said. But the minimalist artwork, it graces your screen, and I've got to say, I really liked it. Washed out colours like blues and reds, there's something overly familiar about the art style, and it's a nice representation of almost an Art Deco era in its style, and it really works for the setting. Having played through a good majority, I'm not going to say I beat all 300 levels because I'm still working my way through them. This isn't a game you're going to pick up for hours and play. Boredom will almost set in after sort of 15 to 20 minutes, but it's designed to be sort of pick up and play for a few minutes, and in that sense it works. The evenings, the daytimes when I have 5 minutes here and there, I'm finding my way to this game just to solve a couple of puzzles, put it back down and move on with my day. And in that sense, it really works. Referencing that repetition, they've actually tried to mix things up a bit as well, and I will at least give them credit for that in the graphics. But unfortunately, giving you different levels, different environments, it doesn't really do a lot when essentially it's a pool of water. There's only so much you can do with that, but kudos for at least trying. So then we have the sound and music, and I've got to say the sound effects here, again, are really good. They've included all the environmental sounds you would expect. The water splashes, you can hear families and children around the pool, you can hear background animals. It's a really nice sound field. It sounds exactly like, well, you would imagine, and that's exactly what they were going for. Unfortunately, the music's not so good in the sense that there's not really any. There's a tiny amount on the menus, and then there's some very slight animations as you walk to the pool or get out, and they have a little bit here. I wish they'd included music through the levels themselves. Now, I know there's always a risk of that getting repetitive or annoying, but give us the option in the menus to turn it down. I think this actually would have helped with adding a bit of variance. They could have used music from different regions to represent a different pool, maybe in different countries. It could have helped this game out just a bit. I gotta say, I'm a bit disappointed in that sense with the music. I think they had a a big missed opportunity here. But at the same time, this is a two-man team. Or should I say man and woman, they're actually husband and wife. So respect for the amount of work they've obviously put into this game. So my final verdict, and well, what can I say? This is a puzzle game. Yes, it was on cell phones, but it does work on the Switch. The graphics are not going to be anything amazing, but they're very nice to look at. The gameplay itself is repetitive as they introduce pretty much every tactic and I suppose element that you can use within the first few levels, but you are going to get your money's worth with this one. With 300 levels, it's going to last you a long time. But don't pick this one up thinking you're going to have mammoth 2 or 3 hour sessions. That's really not the case. This is 10-15 minutes here, 10-15 minutes there. If you are a fan of the puzzle genre, then I would say this will be a nice fit in your Nintendo library, and I'm going to give this one a recommendation. The Gaming X awards Swim Out a solid 7 out of 10. Thanks so much for watching today, we truly do appreciate it. If you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button. It means the world to us and we'll ensure we have at least 3 Nintendo Switch reviews for you every single week.